Everyone, and welcome to round 6 of the British Championships. We are following the games that are being played right now in Hull, and I'm going to share two screens. So first, we're going to share the playing hall. This is everybody now, and then I'm going to share the games. Here we go.
Right, fantastic. Hey, Nizaye. We start with the top board matchup. Marcus Harvey against Andrew Ledger. And I have to say at first sight, Andrew seems to be doing quite nicely there. Let's have a look what the opening was. So Marcus played a sort of a reti system against Andrew Ledger, which is quite funny because Andrew is a bit of a reti player himself as well. I'd like to say I think Heavy is going to make an omelette.
What?
Heavy is going to make an omelette. My goodness me. I'm sorry, you're distracting us now, but I've got to... Oh, Eggy, he's playing Eggy. He's playing Eggy.
He's going to mix him up and cook him.
Okay, knight c6 from Andrew. So Andrew's a Grunfeld player, which is why he's gone d5. This knight c6 move is quite interesting, and after castles, Andrew gets in d4. So, in principle, pretty nice for black to get this in. Knight bd2, rook 8, knight e1. So, the knight's coming round to c2, and then we're going to try and play a3 and b4. Bishop f5, threatening e4. I like very much how Andrew's playing this. All very sensible here. Knight e4, a5 stopping b4, and after knight c2, now Andrew takes on e4 because the knight's on c2 and it's not coming to d3, which would be the best square for it. To be honest, I think it sort of feels like black is white and white is black here, really. So I mean Andrew's done pretty well so far. So queen d3, knight b4, interesting move. I'm not sure. Would I want to do that? Not 100% sure, but it's definitely solid. We're beating down on the a pawn. You might expect white to go a3 actually, or a4 even, but Marcus didn't do that. He played f4 and e3. c5 takes. Rook f2, queen d6, bishop c1, rook a7, rook c2. So fairly stodgy position, I suppose you'd say.
Where's he going with his bishop? His bishop's just gone back to c1. Is he going down to d2 and looking?
I guess he's going to d2 just to hit the pawn on b4. And I suppose with rook c2, yeah, he's protecting a2, so he can put the bishop round to d2, maybe threatening c5. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's not really very much happening, I don't think, in this position. To be honest, I think this is looking pretty balanced. Do
you think they're gonna get fed up and just agree a draw, or do you think they'll
get fed up and agree a draw? Maybe,
I think Marcus will want to play because he's half a point behind, isn't he? He's half a point behind Andrew and his white, and yeah.
But I don't think very much is happening. But I mean, Ocelot. I would have thought, on the other hand, white can also play moves like, ideas like f5 and g4 and try and do it that way. So it is all possible. But I think in general, this is looking pretty even to me. I think a draw is also on here. Then we get Hamish Olsen against Danny Gormali. This is quite an interesting position. This is a pretty sharp one. Not quite sure. First time it's going to be better. So we've got another Grunfeld. And we've got g3, so Danny playing the Grunfeld there. c4 takes, knight a3. Yeah, this is a well-known line for black. You're weakening the queen side in one way, but you're also giving the b file as well and strengthening the white center. So a bit of a mixed bag, but generally thought to be pretty decent for black here. Knight c4, queen a6, knight cd2, bishop g4. Black white gets the bishop pair now. Rook ac8, e3, knight b4. So bishop pair, but black's pretty active. But I mean, you can sort of see there's a certain inherent risk to the position. I mean, if white's got a center and the two bishops, if black's activity doesn't quite work out, then yeah, white's just going to be better. I never like these positions with black, but in principle, you know, they're not that easy to not easy to do that much with white. It's just that I don't like not having a center. It just makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable like that. And yeah, and this bishop does sort of bite against this granite of the d4, e3 pawns. So rook e2, knight fd5, knight e1. Interesting move, covering d3, stopping the knight from invading. Rook fd8, a3.
Couldn't black go knight c3 and get the bishops?
You certainly could. Yeah, that would be a decent idea. I think Danny's going for just a little bit more really than that. I think he's trying to keep you know, real life in the position, and he's intending here to go e5, open up, and you know, maybe the queen will be awkward somehow. But white plays it very interestingly: knight d3, e5, e4, counterattack. So the knight on d5 attacked here. D5, knight a4. Very interesting. If he takes e6, we've got rook takes d3, and there's probably nothing amazing there. No, just looks like you're attacking the queen. Feels like there should be something, but I don't think there is. So bishop f1 played, and now knight d4 takes. So we've got the dark square bishop, but well, you're going to get a knight into c3. But rook e1, and now queen a5. Yeah, this is an interesting position. If I had to guess, I would have thought that white was a reasonable amount better here, because you know, I've got a pretty solid center. This bishop doesn't have much scope, and at some stage, you know, if I can get in e5, then I'm going to be doing really well, because you know, e5 to e6, the king's weak. So yeah, I'm not sure. It's quite a sharp one. I mean, I probably think of starting with bishop g2, I suppose, and looking to play e5 some stage. If knight c3, could go queen b3 maybe, could go queen g4. Yeah, I mean, I quite like white actually in this position, but it's a sharp game. So I mean, I think Danny will not be too dissatisfied. He's got you know, obviously he's playing somebody a couple of 100 points lower rated than him. This is even with black, this is a pretty decent chance, you know, from a rating perspective. So yeah, but in principle, I quite like white's position here. I think white's got quite nice chances. Omelette, eggy. Whoa, what's happening here? Very sharp. Mark again. Mark going back to his Torre. His old favorite there. He often played it with 3c3 actually. That was his trademark. Bishop g5 now against Dave Eggleston. Yeah, Mark also plays the London system quite a bit, which he calls the lazy trompe.
Yeah, can't be bothered to push the bishop all the way to g5.
Can't be asked. So,
and he also used to play all these lines with knight c3, d4 and knight c3.
Yeah, the good old Barry. Yeah. The Barry lines were more a way of it was more against King's Indian Grunfeld players, where he
he did against me, and I was a King's Indian player.
That's right. So but here he goes for this old pawn sacrifice, which is quite interesting. Knight b2, queen b2, bishop d3. So Mark out for blood. D5, or out for yoke maybe. D6, c4.
We're going to be walking on eggshells this game. Exactly.
And I can tell you, if black loses, I'm definitely going to sing Humpty Dumpty. So bishop c4. Yeah, interesting position. I mean, it's sort of yeah. I mean, some compensation for the pawn. What have I done? Yeah, indeed.
You wait.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's decent compensation. I mean, I completely scrambled. I quite like. I'd be happy to take on black in this sort of position. You know, two bishops and all that. But Hebbs plays such positions excellently.
Oh, he's such a poacher turned gamekeeper.
Oh my goodness me! Yeah, it's been a long day at work, probably for both of us, I think, hasn't it? So
yeah, it's yeah.
So castles, knight h4. That's an interesting move as well. Just freeing the, despite the puns, this game is rather exciting. So knight h4, interesting idea. In some ways, I mean, it frees the queen to come in some ways, and also frees the third rank as well. The knight itself is not doing a huge amount there, but f5, d5 from Hebs. Yeah, again, a very typical move, attacking the pawn on e6. Queen e7, queen h5, queen f6. Yeah, David having some problems getting his queenside pieces developed there. So d takes e6. Doesn't really want to take with the bishop on e6, obviously. I think you just take back, and then b7 is hanging. So f takes e6, knight df3. Knight c6, rook e1. I mean, this is, I think Heb's probably, played pretty quickly so far, and looking quite nice. Knight d8. Oh, wow. Knight e5. Again, still difficulties for black to develop this bishop. Knight f7 played, and now Mark has just played knight takes f5.
Oh gosh, now what happens? Knight takes f5. So if you take it, we're taking on f7.
Well, yes. Wait a minute. There's two things. I mean, if you go knight e5, I guess that rook e5 was what Mark was going to do. I suppose could be. Oh,
and then queen e5, you go knight 8, knight
so we can do that. I'm slightly wondering about king h8. I can just take on e7 then, and this is nothing for white. So and knight g7 would be quite dangerous. So that's the first idea. So Iggy has taken on f5, and then I assume that Mark's going to take here.
Oh, just wins.
Well,
oh no, maybe not. Rook takes, rook e8, bishop f8.
Yeah, no, this is going to be this is going to be losing. We probably just go rook c1, I guess.
Or could you just go, in fact, rook e7 rather than rook e8? Oh no, the rook's on pre's on a1.
No, it's on b1.
No.
B1.
Yeah, so what about just rook e7?
Rook e7 is stronger. Yeah. So so that's just going to be winning. But you don't do that. I mean, I think you just go. Well, name a random move, really. I mean, b5 is vaguely possible. Let's say b5.
All right, take it with the rook. Oh, you're going to go bishop a6. Maybe don't take it.
No, it's also, but probably not so bad actually. I mean, I go knight d6 and rook a5 or something. That's all. Well, not a5. Come on, Matthew, choose the one square. That's not possible. Rook b3, rook d5, whatever. You know, I mean, you're going to win a pawn there. So let's just maybe b5. I thought it was going to be clever, but probably not. Let's just go play the simple b6, for example.
Yeah. So white has at least a draw.
Indeed.
But I think white has an excellent position, so go for more.
Indeed.
Rook e7.
Rook e7. All right, I'll go rook b8 maybe.
I'll just take your a pawn.
Yeah, you just want to take my stuff.
I'm just going to take your pawn, so I'm not going to do anything too fancy.
You're just gonna, maybe this is. I was sort of thinking, okay, I'll go bishop f6 maybe. Okay, but then I'll just take on d6 and go c8. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, white's got an initiative here. I mean, rook a5 with egg in your face.
Yeah, with egg on your face.
So Mark's played knight takes f7. Yeah, white's got a nice initiative. I think. I was thinking maybe it's just rather deceptive and not very good at all. Or nothing special, but white's still got a slight edge. I have the feeling that you should maybe have had something a bit better than this, but yeah, I mean, black's still got black's got to prove the prove he can hold it. I mean, I could go b6. Yeah, rook e7 though is very strong actually, because bishop f6 I've got knight g5. Haha, and the yoke's on you.
Mm.
So maybe bishop f6 is what you want to. He's played bishop f6, yeah. Because I think if knight d6 will go king h8 and knight c8, rook c8, we're going to hit this bishop, which would be rather annoying. So after bishop f6, we're going to need
let's not exchange off this knight. Why don't we? Can't we get a rook somewhere scary?
We're going to need some Natasha genius.
Yeah. How about?
Mark's got knight d6.
But what about just like rook b3 or something?
Rook b3. That would have been an interesting move.
I suppose you can go f4 and stop me doing what I want to do.
You want to go rook g3, don't you?
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, f4. Yeah, Mark's got knight d6 check.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that after king h8, he is going to. Is he going to take on b7? Possible. Not 100% sure about this. I mean, it's a pawn advantage, so it's quite good. But yeah, I don't know. Is this going to be a lot? I did like your rook b3 idea, but yeah, f4 does look quite annoying. Yeah, not sure. You have the feeling somehow that it was looking really promising before.
Yeah.
And somehow, yeah, I mean, knight d8 was quite a nice move to come around to f7, but you sort of think, oh, didn't you have something something clever here? But I can't. I mean, I don't see it. So you don't see it immediately. Knight df3. The one thing I was thinking about was some b3 maybe, but I think. Yeah, rook b3 could have gone queen h6. Could also have gone queen h6 after here. I don't know whether that would have been.
It's a bit chicken.
Yeah, knight d6, king h8. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean knight b7. I mean white's got if anyone's got the edge, it's white, of course. But yeah, bishop d5. That's maybe.
Hi, Chris W. Baker. I am.
That is possible. Maybe I go rook b8. I don't think it's going to change that much to the course of the game. Not sure. I wouldn't. I don't think white's winning. White's better definitely, but yeah. But okay, I don't know where Mark could have improved particularly. It was quite a complicated game, but playing very nicely. Pert against
Gosh,
this does not look pleasant for black. Has Keith played a King's Indian? No, he's played a Bogo Indian.
Okay.
So looks like a structure you typically get from the King's Indian. So Bogo Indian, we've seen quite a few of these. Black's been playing castle and then d5. Keith, he's always preferred his dark squares structures in these. c6. That is a little bit risky, and Nick plays a very quick c5. That's quite interesting. I mean, you could play this one, and I guess we're going to go here, and yeah, it's going to be an ending. It's a pleasant ending for white. It's not probably one that Keith would enjoy a great deal as white. Probably less with black, and yeah, Nick's a dangerous guy to have that against. He's just a good. A good, strong, solid player, basically. So you know that you're going to suffer a little bit if you get that sort of position against him. But this is rather risky to do this. But I guess Keith was hoping for some pressure against this e5 pawn. But somehow, queen f4. Yeah, you're not going to get it really. I mean, rook e8. I'm just going to go rook d1, and you can't take the pawn back. And well. White's going to follow up with what happened in the game, which is knight e4 and knight d6. So, yeah, don't know how bad this is. I mean, is it maybe not as bad as I think? It's possible, but it feels like White's gained quite a lot from the opening. Black's played quite a solid opening, and White's managed to blast it open. So queen d8, queen g4, g6, and then e4. h5, queen h3, knight c7, rook d1. Yeah, I mean, white obviously not at all concerned about sacking the piece. I mean, that's knight d6, rook d6, interesting, and then queen e8. Keith quite a bit behind on time as well, which is quite unusual for Keith. So yeah, I think that probably shows the pressure that he's under. Okay, so what is white going to do here?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of don't want to move that knight away. You're not really worried. Black's never going to really take it, I suppose.
No, I mean, there's probably some tactics already, right? I mean, it's conceivable that knight h6 is already possible. Knight here. It's not 100% clear, but I mean, if you went rook f7, I could go queen takes e6, for example. That looks vaguely possible. Got to watch out because there's going to be could be some discovered attacks like this, you know, and then your knight's coming out here. So, yeah, maybe that's a little bit too much. But there's a few. I mean, it's something you've got to watch out for. King f7 as well would allow rook e6 and then knight g5 check.
Oh yeah.
It's probably, yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, this one does look quite.
So it just looks like it works then. Oh, what about? What did you say? King takes, then you just take and knight g5. Yes.
Yeah, but I think knight b6 is what I'm a bit worried about.
b6 here.
Because yeah, where does this knight go? And I've got a knight f4, knight d4 discovered. This might be a little bit awkward. Yes. I don't really know. I'm not quite sure. It looks quite good to. Looks quite good for. Just trying to just go through the moves again. Knight f7, knight b6. Yeah, it looks quite good to for black to me. This one.
Yeah.
Queen obviously not so well placed, but I guess you don't particularly want to move that knight. Yeah, I mean, one move that certainly occurs to me is queen h4. You know, I mean, you try and just creep into the dark squares. You know, that's quite an interesting move. More ideas. Rook d1 obviously is an idea. Maybe rook e1 even. You know, you just you know, just building up. And I mean, a move like rook e1 or rook d1, it gives you some ideas maybe of bishop f1 to c4. You know, so. That's quite nice. Queen h4 gives you the idea of playing g4 as well, which you know, I also quite like. So there's a lot of tempting continuations for here. I mean, I suppose one thing you have to look out for is, you know, can black do stuff like this and or knight d4 and capture the piece and play it, you know, a little bit engine style. But I mean, it all looks completely horrific, really. So I don't think that that's ever going to be possible. Maybe queen h4, we could go queen d8 for white. That's possible.
You could throw in knight e7.
Yeah, I mean, you start to get tricks like, you know, knight g6 as well is possible. Or just maybe go rook d1, or you go bishop h3. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just really, you know, it's pretty difficult for black. I think there's. But yeah, I mean, you've got the black's position is reasonably compact, I suppose, and this queen's a little bit awkward. So I mean, those are the things that are a little bit awkward for you. But I think you find a good way through, and you know, it's very, very dangerous. And as I said, queen h4 is kind of my favorite move, with maybe rook d1 also. Maybe rook e1 or rook d1 with the bishop coming over here. You know, that feels quite decent as well. So yeah, I think Keith in a little bit of trouble there with black. So yeah, it's a big one to survive, I think, for Keith. I mean, if he managed to make a draw in this one, then you're still in with a hope. You've played the strongest player in the tournament with black, but yeah, if you don't survive this one, then yeah, I think you're out of the race basically, more or less. So Svetlana Suksikova against Joe McPhillips. Both players have been playing very well. Svetlana beat Freddie Gordon, very promising Scottish junior, yesterday in a very nice tactical game. And Joe has been playing very well as well. So Obviously, I think, as a much higher rated player, Joe will be looking for complications. And this is quite nice, quite a nice unbalanced position. D5, knight 1, D2, queen C7. So Svetlana, for the moment, trying to avoid committing the center. But yeah, Joe also not committing the center. So E5 played. And we've got some sort of French structure with the bishop on G2, which is all right. But I mean, the bishop on D3 is much more dangerous. So in principle, black's doing quite nicely. Black taking control of the diagonal and playing B5. I mean, normally you'd expect white to, if you want to try and create some counterplay, you start moving your H pawn to H6. King's Indian attack style. Svetlana plays a little bit not so aggressively, and yeah, black's getting the knight in. So yeah, I mean, Joe's definitely on top here. I mean, this is queen B6 attacking F2. Oh, knight D4 played. And now knight takes C5.
Okay.
Does Svetlana have something prepared? I don't think there's anything.
No, this black center is going to be really good now for black. Yeah,
this is looking really promising for Joe. And that would be a very big, yeah, that would be a big win. That one, it gets you up to 4 points. You're still in the mix, with 3 rounds to go. So, yeah, interesting. Okay. Peter Vinn, checkmate a lot against old-timer Neil Bree. Well, look at those clock times. 14 minutes only now for Peter. So how is this going? E4, E5, knight F3, an Italian game. Knight BD2, queen E7, and then castles from white, and then H6. So black teeing up for G5. So Peter sort of reacted when knight C4, looking to try and get a quick D4 in. Black played knight B8, swapping off the bishops, A4, C6, Peter grabbing, and G6. And now Peter thinking again. Really spent a very long time here. So got to be careful about time trouble. In principle, if you can do it, F4 is the move that you want.
Yeah, they've only played 14 moves, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right. F4 is really the move that you want to play here. Why would that not be good? What is Peter thinking about?
I suppose takes G5. I bet you could just go knight F5.
Yeah, that's real.
Then it's good for white.
I'm not going to say no to that. So I think, I mean, F4. I mean, you've got knight takes C4 ideas, but I've got knight G6, or I can even take and chop a Rooney here, really. Which looks like it could be vaguely promising.
A bigger bathtub. That's the pawn structure, isn't it? That's
indeed. It is a mega bathtub, isn't it? F4 would be enormous. So, yeah, or maybe he wants to go G3. I mean, it's possible too. But white's quite nice here. I mean, you've got these double pawns. You played A4, so this one's restricted. And you've got F4. Maybe he doesn't want to play F4. Yeah, I don't know. G3. I think F4 or G3 are very natural moves to play. And then black's got to decide, where you're going to put your king, because that's also not an easy question to answer. He can't castle here because H6 hangs, and castles here looks a tad risky. So yeah, I like white.
Castle's long though, out of those two.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. I wouldn't dare it, to be honest. But it's yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good recommendation for black really. It's just quite a nice position for white, I think. All right, Robert Starley, Ferrari fan, giving it plenty of welly against Louise Head. Results, yeah, there's been one. We'll have a look. Olga Lafipova beat Steve Willison. That's a good result. So we'll have a little look at that one a little bit later. Robert Starley against Louise Head. That looks like French, or was it Caracan? It was Caracan. Okay. So, playing like Keith Arkle, Louise. Playing these very solid systems, and then C5. I don't really like them very much, to be honest. I'm always afraid of getting attacked. And, well, Ferrari fan, revving up the pressure there. So...
a fast attack from Ferrari fan.
Indeed, a testosterone fueled attack. So bishop f4. Yeah, this is going quickly somehow. Queen a5, b4, whack. Queen b6, bishop e5, hitting the knight. Knight g6, bishop d4, queen c7. We got to this critical position. Well, what is happening here? We've got a multitude of captures and sacks.
Yes, because yeah.
And which ones are good? That is the question. I mean, the first thing that that strikes you is the idea of here and queen h5. Obviously pinned, you're threatening queen h7 mate, but we could go e5 then, which would be embarrassing. So that one's not possible. Obviously we can take on here. And the question is, takes. Yeah, that's not so clear. I mean, what other? Knight h7, knight f7. Not really, not so clear really. That I mean, it looks very, very promising for white, but black seems to be decently solid. What is black going to play next? Actually, probably something like maybe e5, possible. Not clear. I mean, you've also got to watch out for, apart from anything else, bishop c4 ideas. You'd really like to try and get something extra involved, I suppose. But how about if we went queen f3, for example? Would this be decent?
Are you planning to take on f6 and double the pawns?
I'm planning to take on f6 and win a pawn, in actual fact.
Oh.
None of these positional subtleties for me.
Knight e5. Oh, no, I don't know whether you can do it or not. Knight e5.
Yes, well, it's quite brave. I can take on f6 and take on h7, I suppose, if I want to. Just to start with. Queen g3, there's knight h. Oh, good lord. Queen h3, queen g3, queen h3. Queen h3 is also quite. I'm getting a good feeling about this for white. I mean, I could take and take on h7 as well.
Yes.
Go king f8. That's not necessarily.
But then you could take yeah.
h4 maybe. Could be quite dangerous. I'm not sure. I think queen f3.
Taken on h7.
Sorry.
Could we have taken on h7 for black?
You said good.
Oh, then you're going there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Queen f3. I'm just wondering though about e5. Maybe we can just go e5. I'm not quite sure. What was my idea actually? Why did I think this was decent for white? I'm not sure anymore. No, I'm not sure anymore actually. This just looks quite all right for black, cutting out. Interesting. Maybe should we take on f6? Should we just be? It's a little bit. I mean, I could you know, just sort of take on here.
Yeah.
Throwing queen h5 maybe. That's possible. Like this, but you could go e5. I mean, it's not absolutely terrible for you. Looks very, very strong for white, but I don't know. Yeah, not sure. Looks like yeah, this move here. You know, we could go rook e1, I suppose. Maybe something like this, rook e1. I'd like it to be. Love to meet this with this. You know, that's the always the idea. If I can possibly do it, but not so not as easy. I thought it was going to be whack whack somewhere, but I don't see it 100% what's happening. Go bishop c2 would also not be silly. Then you can always play bishop b3 and you can get a rook involved as well. That might be sensible too. That might be sensible. Bishop c2. It's yeah, okay. I mean, it's dangerous for black, but not over yet. But both sides are taking a lot of time, so it's been a complicated game for both sides there. Ollie Stubbs against Freddie Gordon. So
okay, let's see.
This is looking fairly even. This one, maybe.
Looks a pawn less.
Oh God, it's a pawn less. Sorry, I completely didn't count that. So actually, white is just better. It's a London system. We've seen Ollie Stubbs playing the London system before. So bishop a6 swapping off. Well, yeah, not sure. Yeah, it's fine, I suppose. Queen c7, so not so much happening there. Taking off, knight d5, e7. Ooh, that looks a bit risky. Rook d2, no, probably okay then. Rook d8, rook d1, a6. Ooh, that pawn's gonna drop. Knight eg5, and we've got plenty of threats all of a sudden. Takes here, queen e4. So black actually just drops the pawn on a6. Check, queen c2, queen a1. Now you would have thought really that black should have kind of sufficient compensation for this if you're forcing the white queen to go to a1, but somehow, black didn't manage to do that. And actually it came out pretty quickly really. Queen d2, queen c4, queen c6, knight c2, knight e6, knight e3. So white starting on the road of trying to convert his advantage. It's it's an extra pawn. I mean, it's going to be reasonably tough to convert, but yeah, obviously much more pleasant for white there. So we're going to see. Oliver Stubbs, of course, rather buoyed by his game against Steve Williamson yesterday, where he won an absolutely outrageous swindle in the ending.
That's right, wasn't it? It was a piece down or something, and then got a checkmate.
Can we, if we click on here, do we get the game? Oh yeah, we get the game.
You can just click on, like where you select them at the top. You can just click there because you can get the different rounds.
Yeah. So this was because we saw this position, and I said, okay, yeah, white just exchange up, should be winning. And then this crazy thing happened, where when rook g3, king h7, and didn't spot that this had opened up a really cunning idea of rook h6 checkmate. So that was really, that was outrageous, absolutely outrageous. So, that was that. Theo Cowrie playing against Lawrence Webb, and junior Theo Cowrie looking has a very pleasant position there. Let's have a look how that went.
That's nice. Knight is nice, isn't it, on c6? Indeed.
So French winner. Oh, pardon me. Knight of 3. G4, quite a calm opening there. Bishop h5, a3, takes 6. I would transpose probably back into a line of the winner that you come across quite often. Bishop g6, rook e1. So white's got a small edge. I mean, it's like a Petrov defense. You've got an extra bishop and just a little bit more of a time advantage. Really, it's not very much, but a small edge. The queen d3, queen f5 played, and then takes and d5. So black's got some problems with the c7 pawn there. Takes, that's an interesting exchange. Wouldn't have been my first thought, I have to say. But getting the knight very early into b5. Rook e8, rook a b1. Then that plays b6.
And this is how the knight got to c6. And
now white goes on the e file and gets the knight into d4. So it's quite nice manoeuvring from white so far. I guess what you're looking for at some stage is to go a5. Obviously, you're going to try and maybe maneuver, gets a bit more kingside space as well. It's a nice edge. It's not too much, you know, because black's quite compact and solid. But yeah, I mean, if you'd rather be anyone, you'd rather be white, I think. So yeah, we're going to see how that goes. And finally, Olga Latipova getting a win on.
It's over already. Let's see this. Oh, that looks like a nasty final position.
It does indeed, doesn't it? So a dragon. D5, this popular line, and oh wow, white played bishop h6. Okay, didn't take the pawn on d5, which is quite dangerous, but played bishop h6. This is no nothing, and then h4, bishop b3. Fine for black, really, in principle, but white continuing to attack.
Yeah, with the h pawn.
f6, rook dh3. Wow. So black tries to escape with king f8. Queen a5 hits the tries to hit the king the other side. Queen takes f4 feels a bit risky, I have to say. But yeah, probably quite dangerous anyway. Queen a7 played, and after g5, rook f3, black resigned because, well, obviously you're hitting f7, and if queen c7, we take and go rook h8 check and rook b8, and that's it. So very nice game by Olga there. Hard luck, Steve. After yesterday, it must have been tough to play again, I have to say. But yes, very nice game there from Olga Latipova to take her to 2 points. Right, shall we go through all the rest again? We've also got the seniors, have we, as well?
You have the seniors as well, yes.
You have the link for me?
Yes, I do.
That would be absolutely lovely. So we can see with Andrew, Marcus against Andrew. So Marcus has got rooks doubled on the. There we are. Thank you. Rooks doubled on the second rank to cover 8. And you can see that he's done some opening work on the king side there. So he's played f5 and taken on g6, and yeah, I guess now he's sort of trying to going to try and advance on the king side. Still quite double-edged though. It's yeah.
It's not clear to me the white king is any safer than the black king.
No, I think the only thing you can say that really though is that the rooks on the a8, a7 are not particularly useful. I mean, they're tying down the rooks on b2 and c2, but those rooks have actually got quite a bit of mobility. I mean, they can go over to the king side, f2, g2, h2. So, yeah. I maybe with, to be honest, I mean, I'd be thinking as black of moving my king over to the queen side a bit and just, you know, getting ahead of whatever storm is coming.
Oh, that's an idea. Yeah.
And maybe try and redeploy these guys a little bit because, yeah, I don't think they're particularly. I don't think they're contributing too much at the moment to the game. So, very interesting game. Lots of stuff still to come, I think, in this one. Hamish against Danny. So let's have a look at this one. So bishop g2 played indeed. Queen b3. Yeah, this was possible. Queen a6 hitting the knight. Bishop came back, and now b5. So Danny's going to move with the queen side now. White's got a knight b4, square on c6 for the knight now. Queen d6, bishop d3. Queen d7, king h2, rook e8, rook c1, h5, h4. So, well, I mean, White's teeing up to play knight c6 at some stage. And I think, you know, the same comments still apply, really. You know, it's, I mean, if you get in knight c6, you also get in queen b4 afterwards, and this one can be weak as well. But there is some, you know, there is sort of counterplay. I mean, might be able to do something like queen g4, go g5 or something like that. It's going to be sharp, this one. It's going to be,
Danny does quite fearsome attacks, doesn't he? When he
good attacking player, Danny. Yes, yeah. I mean, I still it's unbalanced, and you know, obviously we're talking about Danny, who's you know, a couple of 100 points higher than his opponent. So I'd still probably bet.
I mean, Hamish might as well. It's just I know that Danny does.
Yeah. No, it's you know, I generally bet on black, of course, but white's got some definite, you know, I think white's still doing quite well in actual fact. Just got to be a little bit careful with the old king because yeah, sacking the exchange might well be the best way to go for it, but it's not. Yeah, I don't know, not 100% clear. Yeah. The king's a little bit weak. That's the only problem. I mean, the queen. I was thinking more about a queen g4, you know, at the time rather than queen b3. The queen's a little bit out of the way, which, you know, gives you some possibilities against these. But I do think, you know, principal white's doing quite decently still, and obviously getting an e5 would be really, really nice. I mean, white could, you know, just try and play f4 next, and then e5. You know. All possible as well. So yeah, thrilling game in prospect here. I think if I was black, I'd still be, you know, I'd be happy still, thinking, oh yeah, lots of very unclear, plenty of chances. King's a little bit exposed, weak. I'm sure I can do something, but yeah, don't know whether it's. I think probably white is objectively still a bit better. I think. Mark against Eggy.
Eggy. Oh no. The egg jokes start again.
Bishop e6 played. Okay. Bishop c3. Rook e3 takes b6. So yeah, the knight is a nice minor piece for white. For rook b5, but is oh, very good, Nizaya. That's showing some good maturity there. But is this going to be anything particular for white? I don't think so, really. I think rook ad8 or something, and you know, and black should be doing all right, really.
Is he leading by example?
Ah,
like example.
Amazing. The girl is sharp. So yeah. No, I don't think it's anything in particular. This really, maybe a slight edge for white, a bit more. You know, the minor piece is better, and it can be a bit uncomfortable for black. But I would think that black should be able to hold this normally. I mean, maybe white's going to play the knight to f5, rook d8, knight to f5, and then try and advance. Yeah, possible. Rook f6, also a decent idea. I mean, it's losable with black, you know, because it's slightly uncomfortable. But yeah, I think black in principle from the opening, which was quite you know, quite scary. Really, it's not such a bad thing to escape to this. Nick against. So what did Nick play? Nick played.
Yes, position with the knight on, please. He did That's go right. Queen h4 then.
Yeah, and Keith played knight b6. Wow, after 14 minutes. So,
I can see why they're spending time in this position, though.
So, I just got Queen f6. What's going to happen here?
Threatening rook e6.
Is Keith going to play? I mean, rook e6 is just a huge threat. So,
what if you play knight back again? Oh, knight. No, knight.
Yeah, that I think is the idea. I think that you should. This is maybe Keith's idea that he wants to take back again, because I can't think of much else really. But I don't know. I mean, let's see it then. Rook d7.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Natasha?
Me? I'm playing black. Okay. Fine.
Maybe bishop d7. So if I went knight g5, you're going to take on here. How about that? I mean, I've got loads of perpetuals, of course. That's never in any doubt. But have I got more? I don't know. Takes here. I could very easily have more.
Yeah. So, take the knight.
Well, there I think I'm just winning. Here. with that. So yeah, knight e7 is another possibility, Chris, indeed. But this looks quite strong, you know. Knight g5, takes. What is... You can't take on G... If you go to g7, I'm just going to go bishop e4. That's the idea. And then I'm just coming with queen h6. It looks very unpleasant, I have to say.
It's okay. So...
Yeah, knight e7 check. Yeah, it's possible as well, Chris. That is absolutely possible. Just I like this one really. Maybe would you take with on d7 there? Maybe that's what you do. Queen takes d7, knight g5. Peruni takes, and then well, knight g5. Yeah, well, check there because you've got queen g4 as an extra resource. I mean, looks awful, really, doesn't it? But might be okay. Well, no, I go f6. This would be winning. Queen g4. I've got bishop e4 check. King there, check. There, check. Would be winning. Yeah, I don't know. This is very, very dangerous. So Chris is suggesting knight e7 check or queen f6, knight d7, knight e7, king h7. And then what are we looking for here?
We did knight g5 check.
Yeah, takes. Also looks very, very dangerous, this. I mean, at the very least, or yeah. I think White's really got a very nice choice here. Very nice choice indeed. So he's in big trouble here, I fear. Yeah, I mean, knight e7 check and knight g5 is also quite... I mean, this is also very good, of course. Again, I'm just going to go f4 to f5. So, yeah, very difficult position for black here. So looking very good for Nick. Not so good for Keith. Svetlana against Joseph. Nah, that is Svetlana's been a really tough defender all tournament, but I think this one's gone now. So exchange and a pawn up, and I think probably another one going on a2 if White doesn't swap off queen. So yeah, it's looking
exchange and a pawn is quite a lot.
Peter Finn played f4.
He's done it. Okay.
Knight h7, g3. Oh, so he played g3 and f4. He takes f4, bishop f4, knight g5, king b3, knight e5, d4, knight g4, rook e1. So, and then knight e6. Still looking pretty good for White, I think. So, yeah, I mean, knight f5 is a possibility, and maybe would just simply be very strong, actually. Chopperoonie. Yeah.
That poor knight on the e4.
Yeah, I mean, we go d5, I guess, but I can take, and then we do something like queen c2 or queen d1 even, or b5. It's looking very unpleasant for black, this. So, I mean, I think, yeah, certainly knight f5 is a big move to consider there. You do any some other weird ideas, but maybe not. EF and then d5, and then you don't need to take on there first of all, of course.
So okay, what about then dropping the queen back like you were going to?
Yeah, I quite like queen d1. So I'm also threatening stuff like takes, then rook e6 and rook e1, just winning the queen. If knight f6, I could maybe just play bishop e5 straight away, which could be unpleasant. You can't move your knight from e6. And I'm just doing fe and attacking the knight on f6 there. And if you did something like castles, I could just take and go FE, for example. So maybe this is very strong. I think probably Queen D1 is very strong there. Yeah. I mean, black just hasn't got castle and white's beautifully developed, really. So it's not too surprising there. But yeah, very good. Ferrari fan, what did he do?
Okay, with these knights.
He took on F6, takes, went knight E4, E5 and F5. Louise going for it now. And to be honest, that's not bad. What is white going to do here? I guess white's going to play
bishop E, no, not bishop E7. You can't really, because you take on E4.
Yeah, there's a little FE intermezzo there, isn't there?
That's unfortunate. So you have to move the knight, really, and so you better put it.
Well, I mean, you could go bishop B5. That is possible.
Yes.
To be confusing, but I mean, we could throw in a
hello,
little.
Sketos. Hello, Vice Monsters.
Hi, Vice Monsters and Sketos. I mean, knight F4 is maybe interesting. I mean, that might give you some extra possibilities. Obviously, you know, when white takes on E8, you want to have the bishop coming out somewhere, you know, to do that. Oh, bishop B5 has been played by Robert. So yeah, I mean the pace is really hotting up now. The temperature gauge is on red. The rev counter is high. Oh no, Weiss Monsters. Oh, are you Steve?
Are you Steve? Okay. Well, we felt for you yesterday with the checkmate. Did. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That was a shame. We were sure you were going to win that one.
Yeah. No, really sorry about that. It was tough to play a game after a thing like that. But just you know, a few more.
Hang on in there. Keep going.
Yeah, and there's bound to be a lovely game still to be played. So it's but yeah, that was a tough one. But it's a tough tournament. It is you know, there's not many players, and there's even the enormously underrated juniors are very strong. So you know, it's an all-round tough tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, that was
versus Svetlana.
Yeah, we saw that. We were thinking that you were. Yeah, I mean, it was just equal a bit better, and tough. It's tough getting used to over the board again, I think, as well. You know, with handling your time and all that. It's but still, I think really good to play the British Championship. I think you get some excellent games, and you know, it's every you know, playing against good level of opponents like that, it definitely improves your chess an awful lot. So but hang in there, Steve.
Oh yeah, I mean, half the field are titled, aren't they? Maybe more.
Yeah, that's true.
Not easy.
But hang on in there, and it will turn. Sorry, just had an update about Peter Finn, who's played H3, which could also be good. First long play of the board. Yeah, it's different. It's a different experience, isn't it? And it does take a while to get back into things, you know. Just look at this. I think that probably Peter was just actually I was maybe being too complicated, to be honest. Good, but thanks for joining the stream, Steve. It's lovely.
Yeah. Thank you.
To have the players on the stream. I think I was just being a bit going over the top, really. I mean, it looks like Peter's just going to pile in on the file. Knight F6 and now E5. This has all gone wrong for Neil. So Peter playing very life in the UK test today. Ooh!
Well done, Sketos.
Wow, it's well done. Yeah, Queen A5 was quite nice, actually. It's because it didn't really look like you should be in too much danger with that king side. You had the queen covering and everything, but Queen A5 was nice to switch the angle today. This is looking awful. Yeah, Peter's playing very well this tournament.
And Neil has been too. Neil was playing very well.
That's true. I mean, Peter, he drew with Keith. He beat Phil Brooks. Very long game, nice game. Andrew Ledger and Joe. But I mean, tough games, and the game against Joe was very good. And he beat Olga yesterday, and got Neil in trouble. Yeah, Neil played a good tournament as well. Drew with Nick Pert and beat Joe McPhillips. Just had a bit of a tough run there against Mark and Hamish.
That's the thing sometimes, like when you start a tournament really well, I've had that before, and you start really, really well, and everyone's like, wow, this guy hasn't, because I think Neil hasn't played so much recently, and then he just comes back and is just like beating up all these really strong players. You can get a bit excited. And then you just need to regroup, and then you'll get back in it.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, certainly especially long play over the board. It's a different experience. I mean, when you're playing online, you lose, but you can lose a game, and then the next one is very quick. You get the immediate chance to get back. Whereas a long play game, you've got the whole evening to think about it. It's a different, it's a completely different feeling there. So, wait a minute, isn't E takes F6 rather alarmingly strong?
So E takes F6. That queen's in trouble.
Knight E2, and we'll go
King
King F2.
Oh, and then queen takes F6 check. How's the score?
Rather promising for white, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's completely gone. I mean, we've got threats all over the house as well. So yeah, Peter's.
You can't do this, can you?
Very quickly.
But this is the actual position.
It's the actual position, yeah. So.
Gosh. Yeah. Well, I don't know what to. Is this?
No, there's nothing to be done. I don't think you're just losing. Yeah. It's just it has just completely gone. Hard luck, Neil. But time to still 3 more rounds to recover, and Knight E2, King F2 from Peter. Saw that very quickly. So, in all fairness, Peter's quite underrated, really. Online he's been around 2100, 2200, sometimes better. Yeah. So I think he's one of those players who's actually improved quite a bit. I think with all the online play. So yeah, I think definitely quite underrated there. Let's have a look. Rob Starley. So we had Rook F8 played. No fireworks from Louisa there. Takes, and then Knight C5. Yeah, sharp little position. This really not that much time for both players, and plenty of moves still to play. So it's going to be quite a thrilling one. I mean, both Knight and Bishop are quite aggressive, but they're a bit offside as well. So it could you could end up just sort of wishing that they were back home somehow. But how does Black get things going? That's also not completely obvious.
Knight F4.
So that is indeed possible. Oh, A6 played.
A6. Yes. Why not? Yes. I
was kind of maybe thinking of B6 actually, but not clear. But A6, yeah, not bad. But the question to the bishop.
Because if it goes back to D3, we would definitely go Knight F4. So maybe it goes back to C4.
C4 feels like a reasonable way of doing it. I mean, even D7 would be possible as well, which is why I was a little bit wondering about A6. And then we could maybe go Knight D7. Not clear. Very murky. Not clear at all what. Then
we go Queen G5. We just ignore it all. Pretend nothing happened.
We can. Bishop C4 played, which is quite reasonable. But yeah, I mean, we're going to get Natasha's move in now. Knight F4, B6. Maybe want to go B6 really, just to because try and get the knight to come back here, and then afterwards you go Knight F4, Bishop B7. Got to be careful here. You got to be careful. It could turn out to be an initiative pretty quickly if White doesn't watch out. So
Black's kind of unwinding now.
Yeah, black's sort of unwinding, and I mean, you don't mind giving up this pawn. You just go knight f4, queen f1, bishop b7, and you know, you've got loads of play. I mean, here, maybe here or something, or rook c8. So yeah, no, I think I'd expect b6 here now, and I think that black's maybe a little bit better here actually. So interesting game. Ollie Stubbs against Freddie Gordon. So white still a pawn up here, and going to get two connected pass pawns. The black queen and knight are pretty active, so it's still you know, sort of, and the knight on f3 is a little bit dominated in a way, you know. So still far from obvious. The one thing I'm thinking about here is, do we have the move queen a5? Would this be unpleasant? No, we've got. Well, actually, we've got knight e4.
Yeah.
So I was thinking queen e1.
And then we could take on g3 if we wanted.
Yeah, c takes b5. Well, that's a little bit.
Then we don't know what's going on.
No, I'm not sure. Queen b7 is probably safer. Probably, yeah. No, it was not wise to allow knight e4. So queen b7, and I get, well, you got to be a little bit careful, but there's too many checks, maybe. I'm just wondering, you know, because queen checks. So say I go back to f8, which is kind of natural, and you say c takes b5. There we are. You've actually got this move knight d1 here. And
you can't defend f2.
No, that's actually really.
At all. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably bail out with some checkeroonies, because if king g6, we've got queen e4. But yeah, I mean, that would just be a draw most probably, unless you're going to be. No, you can't be brave. Oh dear, yes.
Up against the wall. English Civil War 57.
Yeah, I think Keith is. Oh yeah, he's. No, what did he do? He went b3 from Nick. Wow, stopping knight c4. He's really going for full control there, Nick. Rook h8. Yeah, this is looking pretty grim for Keith, I have to say. But I think isn't queen f6 just going to be winning on the spot now? Actually,
queen f6. So what then? So say we take the knight just to, so it can't.
We better, because I think I don't think there's any other move really, because we're threatening knight g5 as well. But takes. I mean, we can go knight g5 check, right?
And if it takes, we're going queen h6.
Takes. There, mate. And there, here.
Oh, that doesn't look nice.
He's gone knight to you. Nick's gone knight g5. Oh, this is
thank you, Ginger GM, for the raid.
Whoa!
Thank you very much.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, we are actually, yeah. We're coming to an exciting moment, but it looks like this is not a good moment for.
We're just looking at Keith's game. So Nick Pert against. Thanks, Charlie. Hi, Charlie.
So yeah, this is hey, chaotic Mr. Mirdin. Oh, this is horrific for black. And Nick's not even he's not even doing anything. You know, I'm trying to sack pieces, but he's just coming in and exchanging off pieces and winning in actual fact. So yeah, I mean, queen f8. We've got rook d8, for example, and bishop f5. We just take back like this. You know, and queen e5, f takes g6. It's
you know, Keith wasn't looking forward to this pairing. He was saying on Facebook because it's an upfloat as well. He's upfloating to play.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't what he wanted.
Bishop f5, e takes f5, but I just don't know how. I mean, we're coming in with bishop e4 as well. I mean, it's everything you could ever dream of and wish for. White's got basically. So yeah. Yeah, very.
It's
very
nice
tough.
for Nick. Nice, Nick.
Yeah, so yeah, this is a very important game for Nick. So really putting himself, into the mix there.
Yeah, that would take him, if he wins this one, it would take him to 4.5. And so the only person that could be ahead of him is still Andrew Ledger if he manages to win that. And that was looking, I think,
That's
drawish
right.
the last time we looked.
So yeah, well, a very, very impressive game from Nick. Not one of Keith's best games, unfortunately, but yeah, black against a strong player like Nick can happen, of course. We've seen that Peter Finn has won there. So Queen takes f6, King e2. So well played, Peter. Great, great game there. And yeah, Peter's moving up to 3.5 points. So yeah, good, very good so far. Had a bit of a tough ride with Andrew and Joe, although very tough games, but came roaring back with wins against Olga and Neil. So yeah, good.
He's on a streak, is Peter.
Indeed. Look, we up to the top board 12. Ooh, yes. That's looking pretty solid. I don't think we're going to be seeing any wins in this game. So I mean, black can just put the king on h6 now, and it's completely dead. So yeah.
Okay. So if black goes king h6, there's no way for white to. There's nothing to even aim for. Yeah.
No, I mean you could maybe get some sacks on f6 or something, but I mean if black protects it, then I don't think you can do anything at all. It's always a big problem playing without knights. I always hated exchanging both sets of knights. Always felt that I had no plans left afterwards. So it's yeah. No, this is looking like a draw. So that would mean that Nick would be joint leader.
Yes, it could be quite a few, couldn't it? On 4.5, because you could get either of these two players, Danny and Hamish, if we get a decisive game here.
Ooh, okay, so
and this is one of these exciting games that could be decisive either way round.
Indeed. So bishop takes b5 played, and now I guess Danny has to decide. I don't think he's got anything else, or does he? Oh, he might do.
Can we go queen d2?
Oh well, this one's coming loose a bit. So I'm not sure. I mean, queen c6 is one idea, right?
Yeah.
Then we go queen f7 in principle and takes, but this one might just be a total runner. Not quite. Rook c8. We got bishop a4. Rook b2. I mean, this is really
just c2 straight off. C2. Are you going rook c?
I go rook c1 simply. Rook c8, bishop a4. Well, rook takes here. So that's. I mean, this looks incredibly good for black. But I suppose I'm also throwing e5, which you've got to be a bit careful about. Could go bishop d4. But then I go rook e2, rook e2, rook b2. Well, I could take him here. Not clear. I mean, that one's looks. Black's definitely better, but I'm not sure. What I was wondering about actually was to play the move a4. I was wondering whether this might be an idea.
Okay. Queen takes.
Don't ask me why, by the way. I've just got that. It just sort of feels like a move I want to play.
Okay. You go right on and play it.
Fair enough. Do I have? Hey, well, thanks.
Hello, Checkmate a lot.
Your game a reasonable amount, so very well played. Very good game there. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know why I'm playing a4. It's not convinced at all. What else do we have?
c2.
Yeah, c2 is possible, but then you just take here, I think, and you go here.
No.
Because then on the embarrassing side, yes, I really know. I mean, we're going to get a4 in on. Well, I wonder actually whether it's the sort of thing that could be subtle, that you do it like this. The point being that after here I go c2, and dun dun dun, you can't get back to. You can't get back.
I see. So rook c1, rook c8, and the bishop.
Well, it doesn't quite work, unfortunately. That's the problem, because
Oh.
we still get a check and come back to b3, but you don't have the bishop a4. So I'm wondering whether we could be sneaky in some way. I don't know. Rook
Hi, K Hardcastle. Tricky day today for Keith, but yeah, he's always does well in the British Championship, so we will see him come back.
Not clear again, but it's possible that Queen c5 could be a subtle little idea. What else could we do? What if I went a4 and Queen c5? Would that? No. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at a4, and I want to go Queen c5, and then after you go the bishop somewhere, I want to go rook b2. Conceivable again, but it's going to need a bit of good calculation. This, so I like a4 though. Just intuitively, it just really says something to me. But I'm not. Maybe I'm being. It's conceivable I'm being stupid. I mean, there's also this side possibility of going Queen d5 when you go a4.
Okay, take it.
Takes.
Take
b5 here.
Oh, the two pawns on the 6th.
Not 100% clear. I can go here.
Yeah.
And here. Oh no, rook e8. Sorry, what am I talking about? I was trying to stop d7, but
this is this game. And I suppose you can always try your c pawn as well.
Yeah, we go here. This is probably going to be too much, I think. So
bishop
maybe
f6.
d7, bishop f6, c8, queen.
Oh, bother.
So yeah, maybe a4, queen d5 is not so. Is actually not.
Wait, what was the final conclusion on queen c6 for black straight away?
Oh, he's played it actually. Well, I thought it was better for black, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah.
How that was going to. Yeah, good job he didn't have his king on g1. Indeed, I wasn't really sure because c2 I go rook c1, and then rook c8. I've just got rook c2, and if I go rook c8 here, I could do several things. But I mean, bishop a4 in principle, and then I'm covering here, which is why I was thinking about this queen c5 and taking away a4. Yeah, I'm not sure. In some ways, it's true. On the other hand, when I'm calculating like this, I'm not really. Yeah, the effort and the intensity is not quite there. So on the other hand, I think you also you're sometimes a lot sharper.
A4 for white, says Chris Baker. I am.
You could go a4, but I'm not sure. We do c2 even or something.
Oh,
because e4 is hanging. I'm not sure. Maybe not.
So
maybe it doesn't work.
Okay, so you can't move the rook.
Yeah, the thing is, you could probably do this one, I guess. Takes here and here, there and here. Kind of, yeah, maybe a4 is sensible. Yeah, just yeah, I don't know. If you go queen c5 after, I'm a bit. Yeah, don't like giving you this. Just giving you this, basically giving you a pawn for free. I'd like to sort of punish you somehow. But yeah, it's possible that I can go rook b2. I'm threatening bishop d4, but I was thinking maybe e5 then.
Okay. c2.
Yeah, and I go bishop e4. This was the idea. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going bananas, but the idea is to go bishop e5, bishop c2. That's the idea.
Yeah, and then can you take on g3? But then you take on g6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. I mean, I think I'm fine.
Mm.
Whatever happens, I'm not sure. Rook b2. I mean, bishop d4 was what I was wondering about as an idea for black here. And if rook e2, I can go rook to b2.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just take and go bishop check, and here this is possible.
So what are we? 5 against 4.
Yeah, but I could go a4 and have 2 connected pawns, but then I get f4 and e5 in. I'm not sure that this is winning for black. So
King e5. Oh, instead of a5.
Instead of a4, yeah. King e5, I go bishop b1. You can go, you can go here, but I can go f4 and e5. Probably good for black. This one, probably good for black.
Yeah, because we could bring the king round, couldn't we? To c2,
yeah.
c3, d2,
so
c1.
bishop d4. The question is, can we do anything any better? I'm not sure, actually, to be honest, because I mean, I have to block. I have to block rook b2, really, I think. And once I get in rook b2, then c2 is dangerous. So, because if I go, if I went here, for example, I'd just go c2. So that's kind of, but this is maybe here.
Eggy has blundered.
Ooh, let's have a look. Ooh.
How did this go? How did this go?
So h4, f4, rook b5, f3 played. Ooh. h5 and h6. Mark really going for it.
Yeah.
Bishop d4, knight d4. Rook g8. I would have thought. Okay, rook g8, rook b5, rook c8, knight g5. Wow, got very sharp.
Got a big threat. Knight f7 checkmate.
Yeah, so rook c7, king g2. Ooh, that's a relief. Yeah, and then f4. Yeah, this is somehow what Eggy wanted to do is hasn't really worked at all. So this is now a very difficult position for black. Going to come in with king f3, king g4 rather, or maybe king e4. Yeah, rook coming into c6. Yeah, very difficult, very difficult indeed for black. So wow, is Mark gonna recover from a loss yesterday with a win? That would be a very important game. Joe.
I would really like my Mark to win. I think of the championship out of anyone.
That would be lovely, wouldn't it? But yeah. So Joe McPhillips has got 4 points there, so he's back in the mix. Starley, let's have a look. This one's had quite a few moves. Very short of time now. G3, F4. So Louise going for it, but yeah, all the attacking moves are coming in. Whack, knight d5 played. Bishop e6 was quite clever there, because if takes, we would have taken here, and there would have been that pin across there. Very clever. So knight d5 played. Louisa, not much time left. But rook d8 feels like a very sensible move to play.
Not the position you'd want to have no time left, is it?
Yeah, no, but rook d8. Rook d8, I think, is quite pretty decent here for black.
Okay, rook d8.
Oh, rook fd8 she's played. That's a slightly strange one, but yeah, on the other hand, keeping the other rook for c8. So maybe it's just a very subtle way of playing. This is very unpleasant for white. You're pinned all over the place. You're going to be very lucky if you don't end up losing something, I think. So I guess you should take on d8. But then this one is pinned to this one. And of course, you've got to be very careful, because if you lose this light square bishop, then you're not going to...
You're going to get mated on g2.
Well, mated is a big possibility, really. Yeah. I mean, rook d1 is a bit of a self pin, really. I mean, maybe you even start getting stuff like knight e7, and so I think you're going to have to go knight b6. But this is really, I mean, just to start,
yeah, you can take that bishop.
I mean, just to start off with, this looks really, really big. I mean, you have to go back to e1 in order to try and defend yourself. But I'm sure that there's more. Takes.
I would take it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably. I mean, take for d3. Is a. Yeah, I mean, it's,
Queen g4 to to try and get that one in. Yeah,
maybe
knight
f4. There's queen e5, which is a bit annoying. Which probably works out fine for. Well, I don't know. Actually, even knight h3 is quite dangerous. Here, rook d2. It's probably not the best. Oh, he's gone rook e6. Okay.
E6.
So obviously didn't dare this. I can understand why, but didn't. Oh, well, actually, that's quite interesting. So the idea is that after f takes e6, we go knight c7. It's probably actually why you say that rook fd8 was a bit funny. It felt a bit strange in a way, and yeah, this is so rook d5 played. Oh, but that's not good, is it? Because now we take with a. Oh, we go rook g6.
Take the knight, yeah.
Oh no, a blunder. Rook g6 played. Oh, it looks like Louise' head has short of time has blundered. Oh dear, that's yeah, yeah, complicated games. Ferrari fans a good blitzer, and yeah, that's hey Renee.
Hi Renee.
Looking like a win for Robert Starley. Ollie Stubbs. Oh no, sorry, that was my variation. So Queen A8. Oh, it's happened. C takes b5, knight d1. Oh, but okay. Look.
So now we established there was no way to defend.
F2. Well, but there is a way. Knight g5.
There is a clever way.
Indeed,
that we missed.
That was very good. Yeah, I'm not sure putting the king. Yeah, probably king e7 would have been better maybe than putting the king on f7.
Ferrari fans zooming along.
h5, queen. Oh wow! Look at that one.
Oh gosh, can we not stop the?
That was a beautiful finish. Look at that.
Stop the pawn.
That is a beautiful.
Two amazing finishes in a row. Well done, Ollie Stubbs.
Lovely play from Ollie Stubbs. So hard luck, Freddie. But
let's see Theo against Lawrence.
Theo against Lawrence. Yeah, that hasn't gone amazingly well. It's sort of quite unclear. So what is this position? Equal pawns. This knight is a monster, just defending everything. But the king's a little bit weak, but this pawn's weak. Wondering how exactly is this? I sort of feel that black should be the one with the chances somehow, with a passed a pawn and some weak pawns.
Very low on time. Oh, he gets more time, does he, after 40 moves? Yeah, they're after 40 moves.
Yeah.
Fine for that.
So, I mean, rook c1 is natural. Just hitting the pawn on c4, and then let's have a look what happens.
I agree, English Civil War. Lots of play left in this tournament. 3 rounds to go. And yeah, Keith can well be right in there.
Maybe rook check. Yeah, rook check and rook c1 also possible. Not quite sure whether it's maybe good to force the king here so that you've got some checks on here. But maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if we just play very actively, something like this. That we're going to do, we're going to be fine. And we've got threats of knight d8 and stuff like that. You would have thought. Well, it's very active. You would have thought that you can do something here, but yeah. Interesting ending, but yeah, I would assume, yeah, it's not going to be easy for black to push the pawn without having the rook involved. If the rook's involved, then you know, you find it hard to really attack wise. And well, you've got to watch out for stuff like f6 as well. So it's probably balanced, I guess. But yeah, probably balanced. So then yeah, okay, let's go back to the top. There we are.
You're quite welcome.
Humpty Dumpty might not fall off the wall. Let's have a look at that one.
Let's see.
F5. Ooh, I don't know though. It's looking a bit unpleasant. We're getting F6 in afterwards. I would have thought that White's doing very well here, unless there's something sneaky that that Black can do. It's really looking very strong, I think. It's yeah, quite good chances for Mark, I think. Hamish against what's happened here? Oh, he went A4. He didn't play Queen takes F7. C2 played. Rook C1. Oh, good lord! He played C2.
Oh yeah. We were looking at that.
Takes on G5 and B5 might be okay. Okay, could be. So he's taken on E4, but then I go Queen F3. I thought this was just equal, actually.
How did this go? So we had a look at this, didn't we?
Yeah, no, we mentioned it. So A4 was a suggestion of Chris's. I sort of thought, you know, King C5, and you've got your pass C pawn. You know, you'll maybe try and do some stuff. Yeah, Bishop D4 looks decent, maybe. And we thought that C2, but then he spent 8 minutes over it. Rook C1. Yeah, I think I said it's titled players and fee payers as well. I think there are some qualification events to get free.
I think there is. No, there is, isn't there? There is a qualification process. Thanks, English Civil War. See you soon, hopefully.
Oh, it was based on the online championship qualifiers, right?
Yeah. Yes, I think some people did get an invite. If they like particularly strong players did get an invite, but there was also qualification.
So Queen F3, what happens after Queen F3? I mean, you have to take, right? I mean, there's nothing. And then I take. Rook takes B5 would be brilliant, but doesn't work. So I go Rook C8, and I go Bishop D3.
Oh, we did look at that. Yeah, I remember. So what about Rook C3? No, just that. No, nothing after that.
No, I mean it just looks completely drawn. Really surprised actually that Danny went for that C2. Would have thought you still got some.
So wait, you don't have to take the queens off though, do you?
Well, well, what do you do otherwise?
Move it out the way somewhere.
How do you protect the pawn on C2?
That is impossible.
No. No, I think it's just drawn. I think it's completely drawn, actually. So it's after move 40 as well. So yeah, yeah, not sure unless I'm missing something devilishly clever. I think this is just a complete draw. So that would be yeah, that would be a little bit of a missed opportunity there if So f5. Yeah, I mean, I certainly would feel uncomfortable as black, put it that way. I wouldn't, could be that an engine can find something decent here, but yeah, it looks very uncomfortable for black to me. Yeah, Marcus against Andrew, so I mean, I just don't know.
Still very blocked.
Yeah, I mean, you can play stuff like Rook F5, you know, and do all sorts of stuff, but I can't believe. Yeah, I mean, you can simply try to, you know, to trick you know, the opponent somehow, and I suppose White's got a few more tricking possibilities than black has. But in principle, you know, I do feel that that we should be seeing a draw fairly soon.
Should we have a quick check on the seniors?
Oh, let's do that. Yeah, sorry, I got the link and I meant to paste it in, and then I never did. Whack. Log in. Oh, log in. I've logged in, right? So, round 4. We've got, this was Andrew Lewis against Jeremy Fraser Mitchell, which was agreed drawn in this position.
So this game is from the over 50s.
Just trying to think, why is this agreed drawn?
Thanks, Chris Baker. I am.
Why is this agreed drawn, Natasha?
I would play on as white. Oh, would I? No, hang on. No, of course not, because Rook D1 is going to be mate. So how does white draw it then? How does white draw it?
This can't be right. It can't be a draw.
Wait a minute. Do you think maybe white resigned?
I think so. Unless I'm going crazy. I'm feeling a bit tired today, but I just don't see any. I don't see any chance for white to stop mate here.
No. This looks like a win for black, really.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. If anyone knows, then that would be. I mean, black wouldn't have offered a draw after King H8, surely. I mean, this was just. Yeah, must be. This must be a win for black. Must be.
Yes.
Okay, so that would be interesting. Ah, B22. Was it a C3 Sicilian? It wasn't. Oh my goodness.
Sorry, what? He didn't play the C3 Sicilian. What is this?
No.
He plays the C3 Sicilian, does Paul Dargan?
If you're watching this, then explain yourself. And after G6, he didn't even play D3, which is a very good move in this position. He would play D4. So could this be a cunning double bluff, simply, that he's
going for the surprise value?
22 C3 Sicilian.
You realise now everybody knows.
So yeah, it was a pawn up, sort of a sacrifice from black, really. Some compensation. Always difficult to convert these positions where you're pawn up but plenty of active play, and black got the pawn back, and yeah, Chris Duncan playing
okay, big match actually. Yeah, so this is board 2, isn't it?
Yeah, Donald Mason did play the C3 Sicilian, but well, you can see maybe that Paul had a good idea there, because he resigned in this position.
Okay.
Well, Rook E1 threatened, and I suppose after knight E3, we just take on E3.
So in the clear lead in this tournament now is Ian Robson on 4 out of 4.
Oh wow, where is Ian Robson? Here, no.
Against Hassan Erdogan.
Ah, there we are. Yeah, that was so a long ending. Hassan has been winning some long endings in actual fact, but here Ian Robson actually made it, and yeah, in this position, the bishop, either the bishop's going to get exchanged, or if bishop b8, then bishop takes e3. So that's looking very very impressive. And then
The over 65s board one is Anthony Milnes against Oliver Jackson.
Ooh, and Oliver Jackson winning again. Let's have a look at that.
and he won again. He won
It was
yet
a bird,
again.
Natasha. It was a
Sorry?
bird. It was
A bird. Oh, okay.
Transposed into a Grand Prix attack, a tempo down.
Oh, the tempo down doesn't sound too good. And also, didn't we see Oliver Jackson himself playing the Grand Prix attack?
Indeed. So, yeah, Ollie played very powerfully here, really. Just charging in with the pieces. Knight A4, hitting stuff. And White never really gets the attack going. And yeah, very good play. Queen F3, Queen C4, Knight C3. Ooh, Queen B3, Knight A2 resigns. Very powerful play from Ollie Jackson there. So
Ollie Jackson has 4 out of 4. And board 2, there's Stuart Rubin on 2 against Roger de Coverley on 3. So Roger would need to win that in order that Ollie's not like a point clear already.
Well, Roger's doing a pretty good job so far because he's a couple of pawns up against Stuart Rubin.
Okay. Stuart Rubin with his Morphy number of 3.
Indeed, some danger though to the Black King, so it's not exactly over yet, but in principle looking quite promising for Roger there.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. Was there any way
Can you do Rook F5?
Well, no, it's black to play. So, yeah, no, there's nothing amazingly clear there, but yeah, I mean, good position for black, of course. So, but some danger still. So, and yeah, with yeah, long game. Going to be interesting to see how that one goes. Let's have a look. And Andrew Smith playing against Kevin Williamson. Yeah, this is a fairly even position. Rook takes G5. Well, probably black's a bit better, actually. These pawns are quite weak. Going to go Rook D8. So, yeah, Andrew in a little bit of pressure. And, of course, he's a very good attacking player. I don't think endings are quite his favourite part of the game there. But, yeah, we'll see whether he can hold this position against Kevin Williamson. All right, let's head back to see what's happening in the championship. So, yeah, this one, well, if Marcus manages to win this one, it will be, you know, I would say quite a big achievement. I mean, it might work if you could run the opponent short of time, but Andrew's doing a very nice job of keeping his time good. So, looking at odds on for a draw. This one, Hamish still thinking after Queen E4, which really surprises me, I have to say.
Oh, he might not play Queen F3. We think Queen F3 is dead drawn.
Yeah, but there's no other move, really, because, I mean, well, I mean, you might be able to go King G1, Rook C8, Bishop D3, maybe, but it's just, looks like it feels like it's asking for trouble, really, you know. Maybe there is no trouble, but you know it doesn't feel right really to do that. So I think only could maybe have a look at the board, see what's happening.
Oh, what the live thing? Yes.
Yeah, let's have a little look at that.
Let's see how everyone's looking. Here we go.
So what have we got? Down on the left there, it's Andrew Ledger. I recognise how he sits.
Oh yes.
He always sits with his head slightly bent forwards, leaning to the side slightly, always. Where is Danny?
Harvey, isn't it?
Yeah, Danny is on the right-hand side, isn't he, I think?
Yes.
Against Hamish. Hamish looking, well, he's sort of looking, you know, sort of, he's looking just sort of calculating to the draw. Danny's looking a little bit, maybe resigned, maybe.
Oh, Theo's game. Rooks are off. Rooks are off. Knight and pawn ending.
Right, we'll have a look at that soon. Marcus playing his moves very sort of confidently there, just you know. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Queen F3 played, so that's looking. Yeah, I can't really see what Danny's going to do there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's have a little look. We wanted to see great lighting pattern, by the way, on the ceiling there.
Yeah.
So Theo, knight c6, rook b3 played. Okay, king b4, king f6, knight c6.
All right. So black has an outside pass pawn.
Indeed.
And white has the C and D pawns.
The king's going to find it tough to get involved, really. So, what are you going to do? Knight b7? Try and get the pawn rolling? Rolling, 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 rawhide. Thing is, I mean, you just go king b3, really, don't you? You know, knight c5, king there. If a4, king b4. But I mean, then do you sort of do this? But you've got to watch out. You know, c5's coming in, which has deeply embarrassing possibilities, really. So I think we're gonna have a draw. I think we're gonna have a draw in this game. I don't think. Well, all this king's got to come round all the way to here. That would be the, but then the king side's weak. So I think a draw on here. I think. Marcus, keep on going. It's I don't know. I mean, I suppose the king could come over here. I don't know really. It's
funny though. There isn't really an obvious way to break through.
No, I mean, I don't know whether, you know, I mean, I suppose here Marcus could play c5 after Andrew's last move.
Okay, so take it with the pawn. Then take on b4.
But I don't know whether that's good. I mean, I could go to like queen a8. Oh, no. Yeah, I could go queen a8, for example. And I don't know. Is this? Are you doing good stuff with white, or are you just ruining yourself?
White would want the queen to be more active.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm not sure. I mean, it's kind of a.
Why not e1, says Vice Monsters.
Yeah, possible. But I was sort of thinking of. Have you really gained somehow? I don't know. We just got pressure against. Yeah, I'm not sure.
The pass pawn now.
Yeah, but it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one to get moving. Yeah, I don't know. It's a possibility. I mean, it's a chance, but I don't know whether it's a chance to ruin your own position or whether it's a chance to a chance. I mean, it's a chance you change the type of position, but whether it's really any good, I don't know. I suspect it doesn't make any great difference, to be honest. It's still a fairly equal position. It's yeah. I mean, it really. I'm not quite sure what Marcus is. Maybe Marcus feels that this is his. This was a big chance with white, and that he really wants to push it, all the way. I don't know whether that's true. For from a tournament perspective, whether that's really a correct assessment. I think still, if Marcus was on 4 points, he'd still have good chances. I think so. Because Andy still has to play Nick Pert, for example, or and Marcus hasn't played Nick yet, so still chances. Even if Nick gets ahead, you still have a chance to win. I don't know. But I mean, you should never ever criticize a player, of course, for showing fighting spirit and carrying on. He's played c5. Yeah, he's played c5.
Okay, well that livens this game up. I mean,
it certainly does.
It unbalances, because
yeah. It's just you do get worried as well that you know, you can overcook it really, and because I mean, yeah, I mean after BC here, there, you know, after Bishop E1, for example, I mean you do start to get moves like C4 as well.
Take.
You know, if BC we go Rook A3, and which is quite, you know, he's running Queen E4 as well.
Go back. So what position are we actually in? Oh, so he can just play. Oh, he's played it. Is that your move?
No, play C5, but no, BC5, Queen B4, Queen A8. If you go here C4, then this is actually quite awkward, because if takes, I just take and go Queen E4, for example, which might be a little bit annoying. But maybe, you know, maybe you just say, okay, that's fine. You know, it's unbalanced. I'll accept it. But yeah, risky. You know, risky. So
right. So C5. Can we avoid that?
Well, I mean, we were also looking at Queen A8 and then
Bishop C5. I think that's better, isn't it?
Could be, but yeah, I mean, this is also quite sort of not completely unclear to me. You know, I don't know. I'm not quite sure who's better here and why. I mean, Queen F1, I'm guessing. Maybe takes. Possible, yeah, you can carry on. Maybe Bishop B3, because there you've got Queen F5, which could be annoying.
That is a nasty threat, because you can't even drop the bishop back to defend.
No, not 100% clear. I mean, Queen E8, maybe.
All right, Rook C6.
Oh, Rook C6 you want to play?
Yeah, Rook C6 to divert the queen.
Queen F7, King G7, maybe. No, Rook C7. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, possible. Yeah. Probably shouldn't take on B3, but yeah, maybe got chances. I don't know. Yeah, very unclear. But I think you know, basically, I mean, Queen A3 is another idea. Hitting this one, and after Rook C6, I go Queen B3, and I hit this one. I mean, Marcus has just decided he's going for it. I mean, you know, that's Rook C8. I'm not quite sure where Rook C8, but
he's
yeah, I mean, he's going for it, and you know, I mean, and when you do this, you know, you're never sure. Is it good for me or good for after Queen E8, Rook C8? Oh, Rook C8, very nice, Grandmaster window. So yeah, you're never sure whether it's you know good for you or not. You just you're ready for the fight, and yeah, especially you know a thing like this where in a way, you know, if Andy plays any other move, then C5 isn't possible. But he's played Queen C8, and now he's got to calculate C5. You know, that can be tough. You know, for the opponent to deal with psychologically. But yeah, it's just the position itself is not so amazing. Of course, I mean, you could also. I mean, there's also after Bishop B4, there's also Bishop takes G4, of course.
Of course, then take something.
But you would have quite a lot of play here with your opposite color bishops. I mean, you could never lose this as white, so you know that's quite well worth playing as well. So interesting, very interesting. Just thinking of other stuff. It just the one thing about it is that it just makes me nervous somehow. The whole position.
It's just white or black.
White,
or just generally.
Because white's very loose. You know, there's unprotected pieces. The queen's a bit offside. You just sort of think, oh, you know, I haven't got my pieces where I'd really want them if I was going to, you know, really make a success of this. So that's why I'm
I do agree with you. He must have been feeling lucky though to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, even stuff like this, for example, and Queen B4. I've got Queen E1s and don't know. Okay, you know, black's got to think of something. we'll see how it goes. You know, could be
Doesn't
that
look Drawrish anymore,
Black's,
does it? It's completely changed the character.
it's changed around. You know, it's a very, very brave decision. So you know, excellent.
Okay,
What did
still there? Queen
do?
F3 takes, and we think this will be drawn. We think
D3, Rook C, Rook D8, King E2, Rook E8, King F3, King E2, Bishop D4. Bishop D4 played. Rook C2. Okay, so Hamish decided that he could simply. Oh, okay, and this has been drawn. Yeah. Well played, Hamish.
Yeah, well done.
So very, very interesting game there, but a draw there. So
Hebs and Eggy.
Robert Starley has beaten Louise. Very, very, very tough game there, but hard luck, Louise. Well played, Ferrari fan. So we've got 3 games going. Marcus, which is hotting up. Mark against Eggy. Ooh, this is looking quite nasty, I have to say.
Now, we thought it was good for white before.
Yeah, I suppose what you could maybe consider doing as black, he's gone Rook D4. So we go King H5. Is black going to take? Go Rook D6 maybe? Possible.
What if we let's
This looks
throw in a check for good measure. Rook G7 check, and then F6.
Yeah, I was
going.
So okay, I'll go Rook D5 check.
I'm going to move the king to F4.
All right. Yeah, I'm just but this is, I'm trying to feel like there's some sort of convincing that it looks horrible for.
If you move your pawn, I'm just going to try and push the F pawn.
Yeah, I just I was wondering whether I could go back and vaguely hold, but I can't believe it. It's just horrible. So yeah, I think this looks really just good, just winning for white, to be honest. Bishop G5 played, King takes G5, and then what are we going to do? I guess maybe are we going to maybe
counterattack on a pawn.
Here maybe.
I still check.
Maybe maybe you can just play your F6 idea again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's looking quite promising, really.
I like it.
You'd settle for that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's really really very strong, this for Mark. So very good. And Theo against Lawrence, King G7. He is coming around there. F6 played. Okay. This F6 actually. I guess looking for knight E7 to F5. That's probably not a bad idea. So Lawrence really going for it, making a another big effort to to try and get a win there. But going to be tough to hold all his kingside pawns as well. But big fight going on there. Marcus.
Okay.
Bishop takes B4 played. So well, the one thing about it is that Andy's now on 16 minutes. So I think he's lost quite a bit of time in the last few moves. So
not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
they don't get more time added on, do they? But there is an increment each move.
Exactly. Yeah, now we have to decide what to do for black, and there are just so many possibilities here.
So we looked at Queen A8 before, which
Queen A8 was my most natural, which I thought was sort of decent, really.
That was looking fine, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm just wondering about that there are other moves as well. but then a bit more dramatic.
Oh, that was your bishop g4.
Yeah, there's a few dramatic moves, but I don't know, it's maybe a little bit. I mean, you're also looking at ideas like here and here, for example, because you want to get in this check.
Ooh.
The idea, and if GF, I want to try and play G4 and try and embarrass this king, but maybe it's just completely unsuccessful.
Looks successful.
You get bishop
Although
A7.
the other line looked successful as well.
Queen F1, yeah. Not sure. Bishop C5, yeah. I'm looking at rook A2, Queen B3, trying to exploit this king, but it's maybe not as simple as I expect. So I mean, Queen A8, I think is a very sensible move.
Yeah.
I do think it kind of forces this rook A2, Queen F1, and then takes Queen A3 seems quite decent, really. It's just going to be harder.
King feels safer than white.
It's true, yeah, it's true. But probably maybe something like here afterwards.
And then we can go rook to A8. Oh no, we can't.
Yeah, but I can go stuff like King G7. I mean, my king is quite well protected here, and I don't know. It's not sure. Yeah, I think it just all depends on Andy, really. I think I think this is just really a position where he needs to take a good decision, and then and then he could even end up better. I mean, that's possible, but it's just a big White's just putting psychological pressure on, and it's going to see how it goes. Very brave decision from White, but. And you'll see essentially, what happens. Was it a good one or a bad one? You'll find out when White wins or loses. Really, it's one of those. So let's see. Hamish Olsen has been drawn. Yes. Mark against Danny Eggleston. Rook D1, yes. King F6, King E7, F6.
Oh, we dropped our H-pawn, but we are threatening mate.
Drop an H-pawn, but win a rook. So it looks like Mark is going to be back in, together with Nick Pert on 4.5, and then Nick is going to be
heavy.
Is it going to be Andrew Ledger on 5, or is it going to be Andrew Ledger on 4.5, or is it going to be Marcus Harvey on 4.5? All results possible so far.
Yes, board one is a thriller, isn't it?
It's a thriller.
After a not so promising start, I thought, but it's a thriller now.
Yeah, no, it's just Marcus is really giving it everything, So
Eggy's resigned.
Resigned, indeed. Well played, Mark. Hard luck, David. So this is a very exciting game as well. I guess I mean, King D7, Knight E7, A5 would go Knight G8.
He doesn't play the Scotch, does he? Eggy.
Oh God.
Scotch egg. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, go King E8 maybe.
Probably he's heard these jokes all his life.
It's probably true.
Actually really annoying.
Yeah, probably true, isn't it? It's we're just discovering it for the first time.
And we're going to have lots of fun, but.
Yeah, no, it's. I think this is going to be a draw between Theo and Lawrence. I think it's going to be quite risky for Black to try and push this A pawn. It's a little bit slow as well. So that would be a very good result for Theo. Lawrence is a very good player.
Yeah. Lawrence is going to wish he hadn't seen any juniors ever.
Ha!
He's going to start playing in the seniors next.
The one place where you're safe from Theo and
I know. Our brains have become scrambled. Yeah, it's true.
So there's quite a.
You don't need to egg us on though, Blue Grey Haze.
Oh, even I've given up by now, but yeah, it's actually quite a thrilling moment. Very critical moment, this, I think, in the British Championship. Oh God,
What?
Is Andrew going to do that?
Do what?
Is he going to play C takes B4?
C takes B4. Okay, C takes B4. Takes. He's lost his queen.
Indeed.
All right, Queen F1.
Rook C3.
Take on F6.
Oh, Natasha.
Counter-attack.
Indeed. Yeah, Queen F1. Maybe it's true. I was trying to be. Yeah, I was just wondering all of a sudden whether it would be. You assume that it's not possible, but all of a sudden, but yeah, it's hard to. Queen F1's a good idea. H6. I mean, you could. Yeah. You just need a few moves, and it's looking really promising, right? But maybe not. Bishop C4, maybe could be sharp, but you've got plenty of weak squares there, so probably it's all going to be fine. Yeah, probably true. Can't help feeling there's something good for black in this position. That's the why I keep on looking at it, but might be wrong. Just looking to sacrifice the exchange somehow, and but the black king is a little bit awkward, maybe. And white's queen is not as far away from play as you think. I mean, Queen F1 is quite a good linking move again. So
I quite liked Queen A8 though for black.
Yeah, no, I think it's probably a good move. It's probably a good move. But it's just not. Yeah, it's not decisive or anything like that. It's just. I think it's a good move, but it's. Question is, could we? That looks a bit too much. I mean, I could go Queen A8, Rook takes C5.
Okay.
I didn't think that this was kind of possible, really, but well, we've got some time, so let's have a look. Rook takes. Oh, he's gone Bishop G4.
That was one of the ones we looked at.
Yeah, but I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure about this one at all, actually. I'm a bit worried about this one for black.
Because Rook C6.
Well, it's just you've got no counterplay here. I just wonder. This is. I mean, maybe it's just fine, but it's the sort of thing that could go very wrong for you, I think. Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. If I knew that the black was going to do this, then I would have played this in a flash, really, because you can't lose with white, and you might be able to get in you've got loads of places to get your rooks in now.
Oh, you can even go King E5, can't you? Because if
King F5, King
F5 takes it, you just mate him.
King F5, King E6, also comes in. You get your bishop in or something. I don't know. I mean, but white will never lose this simply, and so I don't know. Well, from that point of view, Marcus's gamble has paid off here, I think. So Rook C6 played.
Okay.
I think yeah, decent winning chances for white there. I don't think that was a good move from Andy. Theo still. Oh no, yeah. Knight D7, Knight E7, Knight F5 takes C5. He could also have maybe checked and gone back, but Theo going for it.
Yeah.
And why not? Yeah, I think we're still heading for a draw here. Could be a little bit careful with that outside pawn, but I think you'll be able to cover it all and also grab
Well,
some.
also because that king has to keep defending the f pawn.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think you could have. I'm not sure that it feels like you could have just gone check, 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 and attacked really. So so maybe Theo's trying to.
He's going for the win, though, isn't he, Theo?
I think he's going for the win. That's right. So well, let's see how that turns out. Marcus Harvey. Yeah. Don't know what this one's going to be, but it wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I think
I'm going to do a quick flash of the players again.
A quick what?
Flash of the players.
Fair enough. Okay, it's good too. There was a second part to that sentence. Yeah, Marcus looking quite. Andy always looking quite. Quietly.
They got good concentration, those ones.
Yeah, quietly pensive. But Marcus is really, he's looking. Can tell the body language. He feels he's going for it really.
Yep.
So I don't know. I wouldn't have done this with. I wouldn't ever have done this with Black. But yeah, I mean, Andy's a good defender. I mean, that's not the point. But I just. The king comes to f5. I just got all these. I mean, we've seen this so often with actually with AlphaZero. That always going for opposite coloured bishop endings and these positions like this, and the idea being that it just loves positions where with the opposite coloured bishops, there's no counter to your invasion. You've got all these possibilities for invading, and there's nothing that your opponent can do about it.
Yeah, and the active king. That's another AlphaZero thing.
The active king. So I don't know. I'm really worried for Andy now. It might be, yeah. I think only White's got chances now. Whereas before, after Bishop takes b4, I was really thinking, really double-edged. I'm not sure who might be better, who'll end up better. But now after this, you just sort of think, well, it's really we're only playing for 2 results now, I think. So yeah, very interesting.
What about like White could just bring the rooks in, like even do a rook like king f5 and rook c2 and
yeah.
I suppose all I'm really saying is just how many possibilities there are, and they all look quite nice.
Yeah, no, I mean rook king f5, rook c2, and then either rook c7 or rook e6. I mean, it's very obvious moves, and I actually don't know what Black's doing against them. So yeah, I'd say, especially now with the time situation as well, I'd say that looks like Marcus has maybe pulled off a bit of a coup here. But yeah, you write off Andy at your peril. He's a very good defender, but yeah. So Theo playing for the win, I think, in this game. I'm not sure that was a really. Not sure that's completely what he should have been doing, but I do think he should still be fine. We'll get the knight across to f5. Try and pick up the a pawn. Why not? Should be all right. Still be all right for White there. Rook fa8. Yeah, now this is the...
Okay, counter-attacking on this pawn. Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it? To
this is kind of the question now. I mean...
Can you sack? You wouldn't sack on f6.
Yeah, sacking on f6 is interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, it's not certainly not... but I guess you're a bit too... You're probably safe.
You do get both the pawns for it, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
But then Black gets the a pawn.
Yeah, I guess you're safe there, but bishop b1 possible. Feels passive.
Oh, that's an idea. Because the bishop's not doing much where it is it?
Well, I mean, I'm looking to go here simply. Choppy, and rook c7. And then I'm sort of wondering, how are you defending that? Are you going to go bishop f8 to g7? Are you going to do that sort of thing?
What's the threat? Bishop.
Well, I want to go bishop c4 to g8 and then mate or something, but maybe you could do that. Okay, rook f8. Okay, maybe if I just go, if I go rook e6, I'll maybe rook c8. Is that the idea? I'll go bishop c4. Rook e6.
Bishop b1 so ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous. Don't like it very much, but it is maybe quite a good move. But rook e6 is, it's another way of rook e6 is played. That's more natural way of stopping this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, king g6, king f5. Can go bishop c4 or rook c2 or just rook h2. Don't know. Very big pressure against black. Really not easy at all. This. So yeah.
So Marcus has played that rook e6 now.
Yeah. It's the most natural. Bishop e1 is certainly a very interesting idea, Steve. That's it's definitely a very interesting idea. I think rook e6. It just feels more natural. You feel maybe I'll keeping your bishop in reserve to attack. If you can do the same thing with keeping all your pieces maximum activity, then that's great. But bishop e1 was a nice idea. Rook c8 played. So looking for rook c3, but I guess we're going to go bishop c4 now. Played immediately. And Marcus is really going for it. I mean, he's really playing quickly now and trying to put maximum pressure on Andy there. So he's doing a good job. I mean, he's doing a great job of giving himself every chance that exists in the position. He's going for it. So very impressive, I have to say. With his bishop
now there's some things like rook e7 as well, and then rook f6 and king g5, and
it's
on a really nice diagonal.
It's getting dangerous. It's really getting dangerous. I mean, the only thing is this passed d pawn's annoying. If the pawn was on here, maybe then you'd really be looking at these exchange sacks. I think with the pawn on here, just makes you a little bit nervous. But
I see what you mean. Yes, I do.
Yeah, but okay. I mean, I guess White's coming in with king f5 next, and then maybe looking to move the rook away and bring the king in. It's I mean, even stuff like I just say like this. You can just go rook g2, and we're threatening rook takes g5. There's threats like this as well. And king g7, I go h6, and then I go rook g5, and all of a sudden,
Hi, plus pawn 9999.
999. King's a little bit weak. So I don't know. I mean, it's all king g7 played.
King g7, okay. That cuts out all those.
All those. But I think king f5, I think, would be. I mean, there's obviously not here, but I mean, we've always got these ideas as well. So
you always just like move your rook across to b6 and win the b pawn.
Win the b pawn.
Sorry, no, you can't. Let's do it. It's a long day.
King f5. I think is going to be the move.
Yes.
And then probably just give it a little rook h2 afterwards. Threaten a little h6. See what life brings. Hey, pawn. Yeah. Very exciting.
What's your prediction then for this game?
Wait a minute. A5 happening, D6 happening. Ooh, this is quite interesting.
So Theo, so Theo can check. He's got 2 different checks even. But I was thinking of D6. Yeah, he's got 3 different checks.
I'm thinking of this one actually. King there, knight here. A4, D6. A3, D7. Takes. Knight C5. Here.
Just in time.
But okay, not king coming over. I mean,
in time, but not winning.
Probably not winning, no. But he's played knight f5. There's plenty of. Maybe you can just do it even better, actually, than what I said. I don't know. You got. Oh, so this
maybe
is.
Just stop that pawn, and maybe he's
still quite sharp. This one.
Yeah.
Anything could happen in this one, I think.
So now, where's this black king going to?
I'm guessing. Ooh, f6. Ooh.
F6.
Okay. Yeah, wondering about.
Hello, Wilsonia.
Hey, Wilsonia. Even wondering about this one actually, or knight g3. Is that crazy? Feels a bit crazy, but I'm just knight check.
You want to stop that a pawn? Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I always manage, but then yeah, I'm never well.
Can we zugzwang black? So say we go knight a2.
Nah, he's got square. I think it's going to be drawn. Yeah. But that's always the safe thing to say, isn't it? But still a few thrills. And then this one on board 1, Rook H2 played.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick my neck out and say a win for white, I think. But it's very close. I'm not sure. I mean, it could. I mean, to be honest, it could also end up as a win for black if Marcus overpresses or a draw.
So what about King H6, King F5? I want to get another. I still want to get Rook E7 in.
Yeah, no, King H6, King F5. I think is what I'll do. Yeah, played. They're listening to you, Natasha.
Yeah.
I mean, at some stage, Marcus is going to go Rook G2 and threaten Rook G5. So Rook D8 played.
Right now, what can we now take on E7, and then take on F6 with the king?
Yeah, but you're not really.
Not threatening anything. Not threatening enough.
Not threatening enough there.
Okay.
Rook D8. Yeah. Rook G2.
All right. Yeah. Rook there. Yeah. Why not?
Maybe is he? Are we going to do this? Could be. Rook H3 played. Ooh. I just stopped E3, of course.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe Rook D7 now, just to protect this one. Threaten to take on here.
Oh gosh, it's tricky, isn't it?
It's very scary.
Now black's looking better.
Now Rook A6 maybe, or No, Andy's defended well. There. It's not so.
Sorry, what about your Rook G3 idea though?
Yeah, this is maybe, but then we take on A2. That's the problem. Because White's played Rook H3, which was a bit. I was thinking more about going Rook G2 here, just to threaten to take here.
Play Bishop B1, yeah.
Play Bishop B1, yeah. No, you're probably right. Rook D6, check, takes Rook A2. you're going to get yourself mated with from there. Or maybe bishop f7, but yeah. Interesting. Rook ad7. Rook ad7 played. Okay, trying to force.
You've got to now block it, haven't you? You've got to go rook d3.
Well, you can go bishop d5 as well. That's possible. Then we see 8 probably. Bishop c4. This takes d3. Very sharp. Very sharp. What a game. A very I mean, it could go rook g3 here now. D3 rook here, there. Check. No, here, d2, bishop e2.
Queen.
Check. Takes.
Yeah, right.
e2. Yeah. Not clear, to say the least. Bishop. I don't know. Yeah, I think still some adventures left on here, but yeah. Yeah, extremely complicated position, really. Not sure about rook. I thought rook d7 was. I like this better. You know, keeping the rook free to attack. Rook d3 played by Marcus, so solid. Maybe he's going to try. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see whether my prediction of a win comes to pass.
So White's got to somehow get the A pawn going then.
Indeed. And Theo d6 a4.
Okay.
So
Theo will have worked this all out to stop.
Yeah, I think we should have a draw here. I think Black will manage to liquidate all the kingside pawns.
Yeah.
So well played, Theo. Very nice game there. Good fighting game there.
So rook d3, yeah. It's now all feeling a bit blocked up again.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think we're going to have a very long period now where Marcus is pushing, and Andy is responding. Maybe probably rook d2 now is Marcus's idea, just to hold stuff. Yeah. I think maybe we need to do our normal stuff of adjudicating the games. I'm adjudicating this one as a win.
All right, I'm going to say draw.
Okay, that's good. And this one I'm saying is a draw, I think.
And I'm going to say draw as well for this one.
Fair enough. We will see what happens. But yeah, well played, all the players. Been a lovely round. Really great play. Yeah, I mean, all to play for. If you look at the results at the moment, it's going to be we've got Mark Hebden and Nick Pert on 4.5. Danny Gully, Hamish Olsen, Joe McPhillips on 4, and then yeah, who knows? Andy Ledger and Marcus Harvey. Maybe somebody on 5 if Andrew.
Last pawn reckons a draw as well on that top board.
Yeah, most likely going to be joint first on 4.5. Either Andy Ledger with a draw or Marcus Harvey with a win. So 3 rounds to go. Everything to play for.
No yoke. Thank you, Blue Grey Haze, for that. No yoke. Good round. No yoke.
Yeah, that's probably the best way that we could possibly finish the round, I think, isn't it? Really. So
yeah. Okay, so you're busy for the rest of the week, I think.
I've got a massive work thing this weekend. So starting on Friday evening. So yeah, no, I won't be able to be there. I'll try and in between my my headaches, my cries of agony, and those of my team, I will try and keep an eye on the commentary. Who have you got, Natasha, in the commentary?
So yes, so tomorrow we are back with Grandmaster John Ems.
Oh, lovely!
So that should be very nice.
Always good. And then you're finishing off in style with Grandmaster Peter Wells.
Yes, and I can't tell you yet because I haven't got Saturday planned yet, but that will be announced tomorrow, hopefully.
Fantastic. Well, brilliant. Thanks. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. I've very much enjoyed the British Championship. So very much enjoyed commentating with you, Natasha. So that's lovely. And yeah, well, I hope you've enjoyed it, everyone at home. And yeah, well,
thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow, hopefully. And thanks, everybody, very much for watching. I just suddenly thought to raid, we could raid Stephen Greep, who is showing the live board. So you're going to end up just watching the players. Let's do that. Yes. There we go.
Bye, Max.
Bye. Okay. And thank you, everybody. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go.